Hi everyone, today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to unbox a PC that I've already owned, but for reasons I will explain in a minute, I returned my old PC and bought the exact same one again. A few months ago, I bought this PC. It's a Dell XPS 8940 from Costco for $12.99. That was without tax. It has a 10th generation i7. It's the 10700 processor. It has 16 gigs of RAM. It has a 512 gigabyte SSD, and it has a terabyte hard drive. Pretty good specs for what I wanted to do with it. I just needed it for coding and to do some light video editing, as well as use it for backing up phones and that sort of thing. So it served my purpose as well. Well, I was at Costco this past weekend again with my wife, and I went to check out what the prices were on the PCs, including the one I bought a few months ago, and they were $300 cheaper than what I paid for them. And since the 30 days passed, I couldn't just price match what I paid. But I could return it and then buy it again. So that's what I ended up doing. I backed up my stuff. Good thing I didn't have too much data saved on it yet. I just backed it up to an external drive and then drove it out to Costco and picked one up for 300 bucks less, which is awesome. And it's the same computer. So let me unbox it really quick. This is not a very fun part. Cut it open, and we'll take a look at what's inside the box. I was gonna set up my PC so I can use it for work tomorrow, but I figured some of you guys might be interested in a good, pretty high end. It was $1,000. It was $999 without tax, but I think it's still a great deal for what it is for the specs. It'll last you for a long time. So it comes with a box that includes a keyboard and a mouse. A keyboard, a power cable, and a mouse. The keyboard is the standard Dell keyboard. I actually love these keyboards. When I used to work as an IT technician, I would buy these keyboards on Amazon and give them out to people who needed new keyboards. I just love how they feel. Typing on them is just awesome. It's this keyboard here. It's a pretty standard keyboard that comes with most Dell computers. It's a standard USB keyboard. And then it comes with a standard mouse. I don't do any fancy gaming, so those two work well for me. And then there's the tower itself. It comes with these foam padding things. And here it is. It's a bit smaller. First time I bought it and set it up, it was a bit smaller than I expected. It's about 12 inches by 14 inches by maybe 6 inches. A nice sized cube. Very sleek looking machine. Looks very minimalistic and very clean. No fancy LEDs and glass screens. It gets the job done. There we go. I'm gonna take off all this clear tape and go on into my office and set it up. I already have the monitor set up. I just need to connect all the cables. And I can do a little run through to look at some of the specs in depth. All right, now I moved my tower, my new PC into my office, and I'm going to set it up. It's very simple. All you need to do is connect a power cable to your power supply here. And then you connect your video feeds to your monitors. So this particular model it comes with one display port and one HDMI. I guess let's run through the ports on the back there. So there's a audio port here, and then 2 ports I don't know and I don't use. And then there's the display port I'm talking about, an HDMI port. So there's 4 USB 3.0 ports here. These 4. There's 2 USB 2.0. It looks like it doesn't have the blue plastic tab inside. It has what I believe is a gigabit Ethernet adapter here. And then the graphics card that it comes with one display port or one DVI connection, one HDMI, and one display port. And those are all the connections in the back. And then in the front, you have your CD drive, CD/DVD, I'm not sure. I don't really use it, so I don't know. And then you have an SD card slot, you have your headphone jack, and then you have 3 USB 3.0 ports, and then you also have a USB-C connection in the front. So let me go ahead and plug in the power adapter and connect it to my 2 monitors, and then I'll run through my setup a little bit more in case you're interested. So there it is. Here's your power cord. You connect this to the wall plug or to a surge protector like you're supposed to, and this goes into the power supply. Now I'm going to connect the 2 feeds from my monitors into the graphics card. If you have an external graphics card installed, don't plug your monitors into the onboard graphics card, because your BIOS is most likely going to throw an error that you have an external graphics card installed. So you either have to take it out or plug it into the external graphics card. I don't remember what the model of the graphics card is. Give me 1 second. The model of the external graphics card, as you can see here, is an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1660 Ti, and it has 6 gigabytes of GDDR5 or maybe GDDR6 video memory. There we go. Our PC should be plugged in, and let's go ahead and power it on and see if we can get a signal on our monitors. I have my monitors configured in this way because I kind of made a mistake and I bought a small desk, also from Costco, but it is a height adjusting desk, as you can see, and it has a glass top, and it was a very good price for what it is. I'm happy with it, except I wish it was a little bit bigger. But so because of that, I don't have that much desk real estate, so I have 1 monitor in landscape mode and then 1 in portrait mode, and it works well because in the portrait mode monitor I can open a text editor like Visual Studio Code or Notepad++, and I can see a lot of text. Instead of scrolling, I can see more lines of code, which is always good. You want to run through the setup, but of course I don't have a mouse plugged in, so let me go ahead and do that really quick. The mouse and the keyboard. The keyboard and the mouse should be plug and play, so you should be able to just plug them in and they should work right away. Also, I plugged in my keyboard and mouse into the two USB 2.0 ports. That way I don't take up my higher speed USB ports. If you have Dell monitors, you can also, so some of the models have additional USB ports on the side of the monitor. So I have it here. And then you can use a special cable that comes with your monitor and plug in your USB from behind here into your computer, and then you have two extra USB ports that are easily accessible. It's just on the side of the monitor. So you can do it that way as well. Let's go ahead and run through this setup. Of course, I'm going to disclose as little information as I can, and make sure all of the privacy settings are set to off. I'm just going to do the minimal setup because I'm going to install a fresh copy of Windows 10 Pro, because this does come with Windows 10 Home. So if you need to join your computer to a domain or do any other enterprise level tasks, you might want to do this as well. Windows 10 Pro license, if you have the home version, might run you up to about $100, but you can find it cheaper online. So it makes you use the Microsoft email, so @live or @outlook. Oops. How do I skip this? I want to set all these settings off. I don't want the NSA and the FBI guys to see how long it takes me to center a div. I'm not going to subscribe to McAfee. It's going to run through the initialization steps. This can take a couple minutes. Let me skip out on this. I'm going to try to use my Windows 10 Pro key that I bought. Try to use it again. Once I set it up, I will record, I'll do a screen recording, and we can run through more specs if anybody's interested. But this is my current setup. I have a 24-inch full HD monitor I found on Staples for $160. I think they still go for over $200. I just found a deal and I bought two of them. I had the same model but a little bit older, and I love them. I love how thin the bezels are, and it works fine for what I do, but I do wish that I had a higher resolution monitor now that I edit videos, or attempt to edit videos. So I might sell one of them off. It's been more than 14 days, so I can't return it. I might sell one of them off and buy a 27-inch 4K monitor, I think from Dell, or something higher resolution. That's pretty much it. If you want to see more about this PC, let me know in the comments and I can show you specific things. Like I said, the promotion for the $9.99 price ends Christmas Eve. Also, I'm not sure if it's in all stores. I live in the Northwest and I found it in 2 stores, but it might not be available in your area, and by the time you're watching this, it's probably going to be passed. But even $12.99 was a good enough price that I bought it 2 months ago. So I would recommend. Again, it's the Dell XPS 8940 with 16 gigs of RAM. Alright, so I finally got to stress testing my PC. I'm using this free software called Geekbench 5. As you can see here, I have the Try version, so I didn't purchase anything. But I did run this CPU benchmark and the compute benchmark. The reason why I chose this Geekbench is because it's a more accurate test to what you would actually be using your PC for in the real world. So some of the CPU benchmark statistics or things it looks for are text compression, some other things I don't remember. And then for the CPU benchmark, there was like ray tracing and things like that. So let's look at, first of all, the CPU benchmark score. So my Geekbench 5 single core score, as you can see here, is 1308. My multi-core is 8560. I just ran this, then it shows my operating system. It's Windows 10 Pro, the model of the computer. The processor name here, it's an i7 10700. One processor, 8 cores. Here's the base frequency, yada yada yada, 16 gigs of RAM, and then you can see my test score here. So single core score is again 1308. I have no idea what these numbers mean. I'm guessing the larger the chart here, the better it is. For my multi-core performance, it looks like it's a lot better. Ray tracing is good. Machine learning is pretty low. Navigation is pretty low. I'm not sure what these mean, and frankly, I don't really care. Let's go to my compute benchmark. I believe this is for the GPU. So same specs here, but it also includes my graphics card here. So it's an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1660 Ti with the maximum frequency here at 1.77, and there's 6 gigabytes of graphics card memory, as you can see here. And then some scores here. I'm not sure what these mean. Gaussian blur, I do remember seeing this in Premiere Pro. Particle physics is really high. It's the FBI probably. But otherwise, everything looks it looks pretty normal. I'm not sure if this is even a good score, but I don't really care what the score is because I use this PC as a tool to do stuff that I need to do. So these numbers don't really mean anything to me. You can build out a custom PC with the best hardware, but if it's not a tool that you use to accomplish your goals or that you use to learn, these numbers don't mean anything. So that's why I don't really care. I used to be a super big numbers guy and looking at specs of computers. I don't really care that much anymore. I try to use the hardware I have to its fullest potential, and usually the hardware is not the problem. If you're not doing as much as you would like to be doing, it's probably not because of your hardware. Anyway, that will be the end of this video. I am recording this about a week after I recorded the first part, so if I'm a bit fatter after the holidays, now you'll know why. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope to have some more Ignition videos, and also I might start a beginner or an entry-level Python programming course for my younger cousins. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.